Today, we're looking at my Pinflecta Twin Lens Pinhole camera that I put together. So, when I first got into pinhole photography, I made one pinhole camera out of an Olympus 6 as a folding 6x6 camera. I've got a video about that. I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to see that. But I got digging through a junk box and I found an old Flex. Now the Flex is kind of different from some twin lens cameras in that it doesn't have a front standard that moves in and out to focus. And you can see in this picture here, the taking lens and the viewing lens are geared together, and as you turn them, it unscrews or screws the front element of both those lenses in and out to focus. And when I got this, there was no lens and shutter, all that was gone. The viewing lens was there, but the gear assembly and the decorative parts around it were gone. The rest of the camera was pretty much intact. There was almost no leatherette left on it. So got digging around through some more stuff, and I found an old Compure shutter. And this is an early Compure. It's not a synchro Compure, so there's no flash sync, which would be fine for pinhole. And the shutter didn't have any lens or anything in it, but it did have this metal ring screwed into the back of it that used to hold the rear element, and there was no glass in it, just this ring. And inside that ring is a little metal retaining clip that held the glass element in. It was still there. So I ordered from Reality So Subtle one of their pinholes, and this is a 0.2 millimeter pinhole, and it happened to be just a perfect fit inside this metal ring. And so all I had to do was slip it up in there and then slip the little retaining ring in behind it, and it was perfect. You can see here, if I take this out, it just fits right in there, and I didn't have to trim it or anything. It just was a perfect fit. Now, it's just one of those kind of lucky things. And I kind of played around with putting it in the back or in the front, and I finally kind of decided that I wanted it in the front to help kind of protect the shutter, and that set the focal length at about the same focal length as the original lens was, at about 80 millimeter. And so now I can actually, you can use the viewfinder in this. You can screw the front element in and out to focus it. It's a little fiddly, but you can get it focused. I usually just kind of leave it focused near infinity. And still got the magnifier here. You can flip in to magnify your view. Not that you need to focus carefully, but now I have a viewfinder that I can actually use to, let's see if I can get it near the camera here, to look at things. And if I want to actually have a pinhole camera with a viewfinder, which is kind of cool. The camera, like I say, had almost no leatherette on it. There's still some of the original leatherette on the bottom. The rest of this I literally covered with gaffer tape, which is a fabric. If you've never had gaffer tape, now it's not electrical tape and it's not duct tape. There's a tape called gaffer tape. It's a little pricey. And actually I have a huge roll of it that I bought at a thrift store. I bought an audiovisual cart, like a movie projector would go on, an AV cart. And actually I use it in my garage, but inside that cabinet of the AV cart was this massive roll of, probably a $200 roll of gaffer tape. It's just huge, and so I'll probably have it the rest of my life. But I covered this with gaffer tape, and so this works pretty well. I have a shutter on this. The cool thing is, if I'm shooting a faster film like ISO 400, like this Ilford HP5 Plus, and it's bright sunny out, I don't have to worry about my exposure time getting below a second and not being able to do that manually. I can actually set a shutter speed on this, or I can leave it on bulb or on time, and it has a socket for a cable release, little hole right there. And I can put a cable release on it, or if I'm just using this like on time mode or bulb mode, I have to hold my finger there. But on time, I can just push the lever, and then when it's time to close the shutter, I can just push it again and it'll close. So it works really well. This is old enough that it has the viewing window where you look for the numbers on the film, and it's kind of interesting to load the Flex. And there are other twin lens cameras that had that same kind of front lens type assembly with the gears. I think Argus made one, and I'm sure some other people did. But your film actually goes in here. You take your spool and you put it on the top, and then you put your new roll of film here in the bottom, and you run the film around the back here and hook it up to this, and then that whole thing fits back in the camera. You have to pull this knob out to make it connect. And then, so it's really compact in terms of the film path is actually from like here, and then the film goes around up to here. And so instead, since the film isn't like in a spool below this and going straight across, it really makes the whole thing kind of compact, which is kind of cool. And got a tripod socket on the bottom. It's even got strap lugs if I wanted to put a strap on it, which I'm not. So it's a real simple, basic camera, but it was perfect for making a pinhole camera out of. So, you know, it was a kind of a neat idea. I mean, all my pinhole cameras, none of them have a viewfinder. This is the only one I have that actually has a viewfinder. I can see what I'm photographing, and it's relatively accurate, which is cool. I can actually see what I'm going to be framing. I don't know, maybe that's cheating a little bit for a pinhole camera. You're supposed to just kind of line it up and kind of hope that you got it, but I don't know. To me, it seems like a pretty cool idea. So anyway, I gave it a name. This is my Pinflecta. I actually printed this out on a computer and then put it on here with some double stick tape and then some clear tape over it to protect it. So it has a name now. So, and that was something else that was missing. The original name thing that was on here that said RicoFlex was gone. So anyway, I gave it a name. It's a Pinflecta. Thought that was a cool name for it. And let's take a look at some pictures. Works pretty good. So we'll look at a few pictures and then we'll come back. Oh, there you go. It's kind of fun to play with. Being that it's a normal focal length, and as compared, most of my pinhole cameras are really wide angle. Like my 6x6, the one I made from the Olympus camera, has got like a 28 millimeter focal length on 6x6, which is, I mean, 28's wide on 35 millimeter. On 6x6, it's very wide. And I know there's some other manufacturers that make them as short as 10 millimeter focal length on 6x6, which is really, really wide. I've got a Holga 120 WPC, which is the 6x12 centimeter negative, and I think the focal length on that lens is 60 millimeter, something like that. It's still pretty wide for that wide of an angle. So it's, you know, most of my pinhole cameras are wide angle. This is the only one I have that's actually kind of a normal. Let me take that back. I have a Reality So Subtle 4x5 that has 3 different focal lengths, and you can make it like a normal, almost like a normal. But it, anyway, I love the little roll film pinhole cameras. This is really fun to use. It's lightweight. It sits on a little tabletop tripod just fine, and fun to use. And but anyway, so I hope you enjoyed seeing some of those images. If you have any thoughts or questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you. It's always fun to take some old junk camera that really most people would have thrown in the trash bin and make something out of it. So, you know, if you've got some old, really simple, basic cameras, before you chuck them in the trash, always take a look at them and say, could I make a pinhole camera out of this? You never know. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you on the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.